What is up, everybody? Lionel Hippie Trucking and Transportation. What's up, Jesse? What's up, Ed? What's up, Afro? Tim Travels. As a matter of fact, shoot, I mean, I am representing Tim Travels right there. You know what I mean? All right. All right. I'm going to have to look at these comments on here. Let's see. 9417. My truck will be paid out this time next year. What will my monthly expenses be with Prime? Man, it's going to be like around $100 or something like that. Not much, you know what I mean? So I've been off this is coming up on 3 weeks. Well, not 3 weeks, 16, a little over 2 weeks. And I made this is around $100 of fixed costs. Now I sometimes roll in some of the other fixed costs that I have into that number. So when I'm usually talking about fixed costs, I'm going to say somewhere around 170, 180, but that includes some other shit. But it's barely anything. Too much free time for social media, time to go back to work, man. If I didn't have to go back to work, or if it wasn't for this policy that Prime has about taking off more than X amount of days, I would have been out till like March, to be honest with you. So that is that. Let's see. What's up with Richie Rich? I don't know what's up with Richie Rich. I know he's liking it over there at Tyson, apparently. So that's good. Whatever makes people happy, man. That's all I'm for. Just want to do a little sample test here. Got a little bit of that Penelope Rosé cask bourbon right there. Let's see. How do you pay expenses with home time you're taking? What do you mean, how do I pay expenses? What I'll do is a week after the fact, I'll pay what I was negative the week prior. So, like, I don't think I have any detention or anything coming in this week because last week I got a check, like almost $700. So I will probably be negative the 180 or whatever it is. So I'll just tell my payroll lady to take $180 out of my emergency fund and add it to my settlement, and that will settle me up right there. All right, let's see. Give me just a second. I'm over here concentrating, and we got some Penelope toasted rye. So I'm just going to take a little sample of both of these. I'm going to catch up on these comments in a little bit. Probably should let it breathe a little bit, but all right, let me get to some of these comments. Leon, what are you talking about, man? I'm just talking a bunch of shit, whatever comes to mind, whatever people bring up. People need to stop completing. Okay, people need to stop completing standard leases. It's basically paying off the truck for Prime instead of paying to own. I've said that before, but I talked to somebody that's a driver that has a master's degree or something in economics, and he kind of told me why it made sense to him to do regular leases. So whatever makes sense for people. I'm never going to be the one telling you which way is I think the lease purchase works for me. But I think there's a number of different ways to do this, right? All right. 9417, do you go in the negative? That's what I'm asking. Well, I go in negative all right, motherfucker. I go in the negative for the 100. I mean, I don't go into like I have money to cover it, but yeah, I do go in the negative, whatever that is. Now, it's only $170, $180, so it doesn't really affect things that much. I could probably let it ride till I come off home time. But if I'm gonna be on home time for almost a month, I don't want them to be tripping out about anything. Let's see. How's your last student trainer doing? I haven't really talked to him all that much. He's gonna do okay. You know what I'm saying? Like my last guy that I teamed with, it was my former trainer. No matter how you slice this out, he's gonna be doing okay. What's Santa bringing to you this year? I don't know. Haven't really asked. I guess I'll see here in just a little bit.
Nothing, because you said don't spend any money.
All right, there you go. Nothing. I'm sure Mason will. All right, sorry, had to get rid of some shit. Omaha, what's up? So anyway, I have talked to a few of them prime drivers out there rolling. Whatever, I can't. Let me see. Ornan, I can't see the shit. This screen is too small. So what's up? I have talked to a few people that are out there running that prime Christmas freight, and it seems like, as a matter of fact, one of them's in here right now. Ed seems to be doing
Little man.
Doing pretty busy or being pretty busy.
Little man.
Slime Pack, what's going on? What's up? I don't know. I could be going blind, but last time I got a physical, it was 1320. So if 2020's perfect vision, I'm like 2 steps better than that. So
you want to go downstairs and see
Slime Pack, are you at home or are you out in them streets? JJR, I'm rolling. Just gonna drop at 1500 and head home till Friday night. That is good. I still haven't made up my mind when I plan on coming out of the house. I told him between the 3rd and the 6th. So I guess it kind of depends on what the weather's like when it's time for me to come out. Although I do like coming out on a Saturday or a Sunday, because typically my fleet manager won't be the one dispatching. And if I get some crazy shit I don't want, I have no problem turning down that load, especially if it's one of them 20-mile loads for, $35 or something crazy. All right, Slime Pack's in them streets. Benefits of doing the local Walmart thing, yeah. And JJR, he's actually not working for Walmart. He runs for Star, which runs under Prime. And I believe his truck is, man, your truck is paid off too, or about to be paid off, right? If I remember it. Yep, he has his truck paid off. I know there's a couple people that are into bourbon that have watched this channel. This is the first time I've had this Penelope Rosé cask finish. Alcohol's a little light on it. It's 99 proof or something like that. But pretty good. It's a unique flavor. I kind of like that. Shamarcus, what's going on? All right, 56. It's me, Jason. Jason who? Or I guess you're talking to Jason. Man, I don't know. Shamarcus, you out running right now? Or are you at home? All right, enough of this shit. All right. Been off since before Thanksgiving. Shoot. Well, when did I get home? The 8th. So dang, you've been off a long time. I've been off since the 8th. Let's see. My man says, never tried rye bourbon. I need to test it maybe on New Year's Eve. You know, rye bourbon has more of like that spicy kind of a flavor to it. Like, you know what I'm talking about. It's got those spices to it. Actually, I've never had this bottle before because the last toasted bourbon I had was the regular.
You have the last one you had was the Architect.
Well, I know, but the last toasted one I had was just a regular toasted.
Oh, the one I got from work. That was a blend. That's
No,
like
I bought it.
malted rye, corn rye.
I know, I bought it.
Okay.
Well, why don't you go ahead and drop them off real quick? The mailman's already came, so you might need to.
I know. So I gotta go drop them off.
All right, well, Taylor's car's behind you. You could jump in mine if you want.
Well, then you have to watch him.
Oh, no. Yeah, you can go ahead and tell Taylor to move her car.
Or I'll tell her, let's go down. Well, he can go down with mine. Hey, baby. Come here. Lolly has to go drop this off.
Yep, so anyway,
Okay.
give me just a second. I got to catch up on these comments. All right, let's see. So anyway, I'm just sitting here at home. I did want to go try out this new Mexican restaurant before I leave here. Not, I don't know if it's new or not. It's new to me. The last place I was bragging about them street tacos, that place went downhill quickly. I don't know if it's a one-day thing or if that's just what their new norm is, but that is horrible. All right, Rich was talking bad on Prime, said you guys are stupid. I really don't know. I've never claimed to be the smartest person in the world, but man, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing okay. I can't speak for everybody, so I'm just gonna speak for myself. I'm doing okay, so I'm sure there's a ton of people at Prime that aren't doing well. That maybe that applies to, but like I said, I'm about a stable life environment. I cannot be going from company to company to company. So that's just me.
Come on. Let's go get Mama.
All right. Marcus said he's doing okay. I'm just telling you. I was talking to another guy at Prime. He just paid off his truck about 3 months ago. And he said, man, I'm making so much money, I got to hire a motherfucker to count it for me. So he seems to be doing all right. But listen, if we're going to be talking about Richie Rich, I personally wouldn't have a problem working at Tyson. I mean, I think I'd work. I think they have like, if they don't, some of them people have like people that you can lease onto them or something like that. I don't think I go there as a company driver personally, but if I could lease on there and have, you know, kind of run how I want to run or something like that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's the problem with the trucking industry is everybody makes these moves, right? There's a few of them out there. They go from one company to another company, and all of a sudden, that's like the place to be.
I'm gonna take your car keys down with mommy.
Okay. You got the key? Here it is.
I do have my key and I got in the bedroom. I gotta get
Don't.
my license anyway.
So now all of a sudden, that's the place to be and everything, you know, so I can't tell you anything about the place I'm at. You know what I'm saying? All right. Orlando, Merry Christmas. Been following you since you started your cooking channel. Man, that's a long time ago. You had a huge inspiration for me, especially since my uncle passed. You remind me so much of him. Man, if you were there for the beginning of my cooking channel, that's going back to like 2012. 13.
Maybe 12.
No, it was 12. But even then, even going back 7 years, that's a long time. But there's not that many people that go back that far. And I'm looking at all those people that have cooking channels that came up around the time I came up. You know, there's a guy, I'm sure you know him, Smoking and Grilling with AB. When he first started, we used to have conversations on the phone, and he's asking for advice or this or that. And now you look at him, 2 million followers. You know what I mean? Then my boy, TNT Barbecue, you know, before I got into trucking, used to talk every day on the phone before he went to work and everything. Now he's on barbecue shit on Netflix and all this kind of stuff. You got people with food trucks. Man, a lot of people are doing well out of that. I miss that. I don't miss I miss the people is really what I miss about it. So GSC revenue's fine if you manage it right, emphasizing taxes. That's where folks I spoke to have issues. You know, another thing that I was just thinking about yesterday, because I'm trying to figure out where all these people are failing, because somebody left me a comment saying, you know, somebody only made $1,000 a week at Prime. And so the fuel discount doesn't matter. And that made me wonder, not everybody at Prime is fueling up, getting the cheapest fuel. I can absolutely guarantee you that. Because why? Because I know that there are certain places where Love's fuel is like the worst. And I might go there just to get a few gallons of reefer or something like that. But when I see people filling up at a place like that, which I've seen, I know they don't have any concept of fuel cost and cheapest fuel and all that kind of stuff. So I know this. Now, I don't know if that's why people are failing or not. I think there's a number of different reasons, and I could get into some of those reasons, but that would be that's a lot of work to go through talking about that. Let's see. All right. He was a truck driver as well, and we watched your channel together. He loved your winter trucking rant. Are you talking about the winter trucking rant like about 3 or 4 years ago when I was in Pennsylvania? That shit was hilarious, if that's the one that I remember. James from Aim 'em and Claim 'em. Yep, that was James. Me and James used to send each other like different sauces and rubs and stuff like that. Yeah, James was one of my boys from back in those days. Your Pleasure 721. She wasn't in the cooking space, but she's one of those people that was around back when I had a cooking channel. All right, Jesse, knowing when and how to fuel makes a big difference. Yeah, that does too. And I didn't want to make this video about a critique of what I see drivers doing wrong, but I see people doing a lot of shit wrong, and I don't think that they think they're doing some stuff wrong. And I'm not saying I know it all. I'm just saying I know when there's obvious things people could be doing different. So I think a lot of people that you see that aren't doing well are making those mistakes. All right, Jesse, off topic a bit, but somehow I'm doing PF Chang's for tonight. Wife's idea. PF Chang's is good. I mean, it's about as good as you could be for a chain, upper end restaurant. I think the last time me and my wife went to PF Chang's, this has got to be 10 years ago. We got in an argument. Orlando Nelson, yeah, you warned beforehand. If you don't like cussing, click off the video. That video, I did that video I was on the Pennsylvania Turnpike when I did that video, and I was like 100% frustrated. And I remember that video. I don't remember exactly what I said in it, but I do remember posting that video. That was a pretty funny video. All right, Shamarcus said, I realize they just need Prime for content. You know, that could be true, that could be false. I don't necessarily know. I mean, I don't know what everybody's motivation is or anything like that. I mean, typically, I would see myself looking forward. So I can't see me leaving somewhere and then looking back like that. Personally. So, because I'm, like I said, I've never spoke on anybody else's money. I've barely spoke about my money, but I just can't see me leaving somewhere, being happy where I'm at, and then come back, especially when there's so many people doing good. Now, again, there's always going to be some people that fail. Like there's people that are failing at Tyson or Hellwig or, Swift or whatever it is. I don't think I would fail at any of those places, but I do see it. I do know it happens, but I'm never going to be like, I'm never going to look at the lowest common denominator and set that as to what I need to expect. So if I was coming to Prime, I'd be looking at the people that seem to be doing well. You know what I'm saying? If I was like looking at coming to Prime, I'm not going to be looking at the people that are on Facebook that are talking about they aren't making any money, or I'm not talking about the people that are complaining about Prime and not making any money at Prime. I'm going to focus my shit on the people that have been doing it consistently. I mean, we're coming up on 7 years in this shit. This isn't like it just happened. Like, it's not like I just came to Prime and everything's all good. Like, that honeymoon period. I'm like, great, come on over. Well, first of all, I never said come on over. But if you do, use my referral code, because not everybody in this world could be rich. But if you use my referral code, you can at least make me rich. But I'm not, anyway, make a long story short, I'm not looking at the people that failed as to what I expect to get out of this. Personally, I would say, oh shit, Lyle's over there. He said he's killing it. Really, there's not as many Facebook people do it. I know Henry, Big H Truck, and he's killing it. He hasn't been putting out any videos. I know that a ton of people I talk to, Ed is one of them in here. he's doing well. Rusty, I don't know if he's going to be in here or not, but he's doing. I mean, those are people I'm looking at, and if I'm not doing good, what am I doing wrong? Well, let's take a look at your last few runs. Well, okay. Oh man, I can get into things that I've seen people do that keeps them from making money, which a lot of people don't think it would. That I absolutely know it does. All right, Jesse. All dominoes players know all money ain't good money. Absolutely, and that's why I don't really talk about the. I mean, I've said how much money I've made and stuff like that every now and then, but I really don't talk about it that much because I never came to Prime because I thought it was going to make me the most money. You could go back to when I first came to Prime, before I came to Prime, and I was like, you know what? I don't $1,500 a week, whatever. I'm fine with that. I don't need to make much more money than that because what am I doing? I'm just marking time, but until it's time for me to retire or do whatever, right? So I never needed. Now this has been a good surprise, you know. All right, why no hippies? We'll get to that in a second. That's a long story. How lumper fees work at Prime? So we don't pay for the lumper fees at Prime. What they do is we pay it with our Com Data card or whatever it is, and then they reimburse us for that. And as far as the no hippie thing, how you doing, Mason? See, people, we're going to talk about something somebody said to me. I'm going to get to the no hippie thing. Somebody gets to, let me find this comment that somebody left on an old video of mine. And, oh shit, did I erase it? God damn it. I think I erased it. Your mom went to go drop off some mail at the post office. So it's not, God, I erased the damn message, or else he did. He probably did. Anyway, the message was because I had a video, and I don't talk politics, but I'm not afraid to say, you know what, here's my affiliation. You know what, I'm a little to the left or whatever, but I'm probably more to the middle right on some things and some to the middle left on things. But I'm right in that area. But some guy comes on and says I'm a loser and I'm the problem with that. Anyway, all this shit. And God damn it, I forgot my point. Shit, I forgot my damn point on that. It took so long for me to figure out if the thing was there. All right, anyway. My man says, why no hippie? So this goes back to now, Mason. I've been slacking up on this bourbon shit. I'm assuming you didn't come empty-handed. Well, you better go drive now. I'll hold on to him. I don't care how long you've been working. I've been out working you, so I don't give a fuck. Well, too old, man. All right. So anyway, why no hippie? So back when I was in the Marine Corps, there was this guy from Arkansas, and this is back in like 87, 88, 89, when I was with this guy. And whenever they used to have us doing something that was stupid, or we were worried about them having us do something stupid, he would always say, they better not have us out here doing none of that hippie shit. So that kind of stuck with me. So when I started a channel, I was like, all right, let's just call it No Hippie Barbecue, meaning no stupid shit. And then when I started the channel, it was same thing. And we're not talking about Amazon Prime. We're talking about Prime Inc. Lumper fees are robbery, yeah, but I don't pay them, so I don't really worry about it. And I'm about to start paying them lumper fees with my Amazon credit card so I can get 2% cash back on that. What do I think about the noise on YouTube Prime getting new cameras? Man, I'm not gonna worry about it till it's something to worry about, first of all. And notice everybody putting out the videos about it are people that don't work at Prime. So I mean, I don't know. I don't like the shit they got now. So I'm definitely not gonna like any additional stuff. But with the money that I'm making there and have made there, why am I gonna, if I don't like it, then I go. I'm in the perfect position to leave. So I don't feel like I'm necessarily tied down to a company or anything like that. If it's something I don't want, I'm gonna leave, and I'm not gonna spend 45 years talking about why I left. I might tell people why I left because there might be, but I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. All right. Have you been a trucker yourself? Yes, I'm a truck driver myself. I'm usually out here in these streets, but I'm taking off about a little bit under a month, maybe 26, 27 days. I think what I was going at with the whole thing is my son is over here looking like he freed the slaves with this, Emancipation Proclamation beard he has going on over here.
Oh, you got something in your hair. This Toby haircut.
That haircut is wild.
You mean the lack thereof?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like one of them Flintstone fucking characters.
They call it the Toby.
Yeah, it's like crazy. All right, is Prime hiring right now, or every other week? Is it still 50,000 miles for training? I think it's 30,000 miles, and they're hiring as many people as they can, unless you're a woman. Which, man, some of these women trainers need to step up. Somebody had to train women, but now it's hard to find trainers to train women, so it's taking them a little bit longer to get hired on. And it's a shame when you got women drivers training men students when there's women out there that need training. Trying to get a good little taste of that. He's in a different room right now. They want to see this fucking. What's the guy that was on the Flintstones that was like the actor, and he had like the white hair, and it kind of like went like this? That's the kind of hairdo.
I haven't got you to get it cut.
I can help you get it cut real quick.
You have no idea how to cut my hair. You found that out like 15 years ago. He's got white boy hair. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh no! Actually, you probably look tighter with my fucking hairdo than out here looking all crazy.
Yeah, no.
But the problem with you ain't your hair. Now I had all the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at this wild ass hairdo right here.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He just like this, just natural like this.
It's fucking goofy, is what it is.
Man,
get that fucking dandruff out of my goddamn face. Mm-hmm. You looking crazy.
Look that ain't all gray hair in there. Right. I know what you're talking about.
That is gray hair, fool.
Yeah, it's gray hair, but it ain't all gray hair.
I just took a shower too.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't seeing nothing there. Somebody give my boy some game. I don't know how these young people are meeting people. You just can't go out to a club like you used to be able to and go meet somebody. These guys are afraid to say what's up to a female out there. They be right next to a girl texting her, "Do you want to go out with me? Do you want to dance? I was gonna take you out. They came up with this goofy stuff right here. Huh? Still, mate. Although there comes a time in a man's life when it's time for him to take over the financial responsibility of going out and doing all this stuff. I'm not saying that point is now, but once you get caught up on the rent and all that stuff, or you feel comfortable with the rent and all that, then we'll have to change that up a little bit.
Yeah, you're pretty funny too, little man.
All right. Yep, Afro. All right, my man cut the dreads when he got out of the music business. Yeah, he just got like his hair looks like when I'm on the road and I can't cut it, or I don't cut it till I get home. Whiskey man, that's good. What about the young men writing? Man, I don't know what you're saying. Men wiring. Man, I don't know what you're saying there. No more guitar solos. Man, I'm telling you, I have been tired out here. We got this. My daughter and grandson are living here, and this little motherfucker's a terrorist. Hey, Mason, there's some beer over there if you wanted to put some in the freezer, because your mom bought so much shit. There's no room in the. It's on the floor next to the refrigerator. Like, if you put like 4 of them in there. Anybody got any other damn topics?
I think she kept them outside. They're already cold.
I just went and bought those today.
Oh, okay.
So you might want. All right, let's see. Let me see. I can't read it on there. Yeah, he is a little terrorist running around creating havoc. I think last time I had hair that long, 29 years old. That's about how old he is. How much money do you make? Man, I make enough. Put it this way: before I even start the truck, I make $60,000 a year. That's a good way to look at it. Let's see. Yeah, it's always these people who left Prime for content. I'm tired of hearing all the BS. So what if Prime puts an updated new system? Either way it goes, we have a camera. It's the future. Here's a little terrorist. Now, like I said, here's what I will say. I do not like the cameras. I do think it's I think it's micromanaging the absolute crap out of you. I don't think you can micromanage your way out of a problem. So I could answer this question, but I'm just wondering if anybody else might be able. Why would you have more rollovers now, if that's what they're saying, or that's the reason? Why would you have more rollovers now than you potentially? Because I don't know what was happening before the cameras, but let's say that let's just say that there is. Why would you have more rollovers now than before you had the cameras? I have a theory on that, but I'm not gonna speak on that. But think about that. If you really think about it for a while, you might come up with an answer. It's always these people who all right, we already got to that. Nice to brag, man. I don't know if you're talking about me, but listen, this money that Anyway, it's nothing to really brag about. All right, JJR, I shaved my head by choice, but I refuse to walk around with a cul-de-sac on top of my head. Man, I got pretty, my hair is not going nowhere, but the last time I got a haircut was 1996 at a barber shop, and I went there, and I was like the first person in line, and it took me like 3 hours to get out of there. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not doing this anymore. So I went right from there, got some clippers, and that's kind of what I've been doing since 96, since before some of you guys were actually even alive. Okay, Ricochet. Hey, check this out. Yeah, that's crazy. Has to be driver error. But why would that happen? Really think about it. Why would you have more drivers flipping over after the cameras than before the cameras? All right, weather in Dallas, high 70s today, Sunday, and high 40s on Monday. If any of your followers are en route towards Texas, man, it looks like the weather is beautiful all over the place. We're not going to get down below 50 degrees. I think there's one day in Colorado before the 6th of next month, which is when I plan on leaving. So, Jesse, I heard cuts are more than $50 now. I'm hearing they're talking about they're talking crazy numbers. All right, lots of people, and I'm not talking about, listen, some people can't go to supercuts and no shit like that. So those are probably kind of standard, but I'm talking about people that can't just go to supercuts. Those people have, they ran all the experienced drivers off with the camera install, so replaced with more rooks. That's one of them. And next time I talk to you, I'll talk to you about what I think my theory is. But that could be one of the reasons. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, that could be one of the theories. 74 degrees in Houston after being in all that snow last week. It's burning up at 74 degrees. I'm trying to compare that to this other stuff I hear out here now. But yeah, if you think about this, so, recently, let's say within the last 3 years, it's like, oh, you know what? Walmart's the place to be and all this kind of stuff. And this isn't my theory, but hear me out. Walmart's the place to be for like the last 3 years. Why wasn't Walmart the place to be before that? It wasn't the money. It wasn't anything. It was this whole little bullshit they had. Like, you can't even talk on the phone. You can't do, like, they were micromanaging way worse than Prime was back in the, that time. And then they realized to get the drivers we want, we're going to have to relax our standards a little bit. So that's what they did. That's not what I think the reason is. My theory is a little bit different. Oh, as a matter of fact, sure. I must have been talking about this product too much lately, and they raised the price on me, man. I think I was talking about this stuff so much, they're like, man, no hippies talking about this stuff. Let's raise the price. This is the best fifth wheel grease out there. Boom. Easy to get out and get on the fifth wheel, do whatever you got to do. Now, I bought the last one for like $8. This stuff here was like $11. Same place. Where are you going? You don't got to do that. I was joking around. I got 2 bottles here. I'm sure, Mason. I'm more concerned about you paying that rent on time than getting me a bottle of bourbon.
And I was like, oh, so she was up at 1:30, you went out to your car. Yep. So then
All right.
I realized, oh no, she's still up. Oh crap, bless her heart.
All right, Shamarcus.
Oh, which I put some your tote is gone that you were taking up there, so.
You know what? That's a good one right there.
So that,
To
and I told her I
the Rolo.
had.
All right, so Shamarcus, those of you guys are driving. He said they started putting money over to the drivers. So most of us don't
Oh, and I need to give you that.
go far and beyond anymore. Now, I do think that has, I do think that some of the things they've done or put into place kind of changed the culture a bit and stuff like that. So while I say I'm happy with Prime, all that kind of stuff, I do see that there's been some changes. I mean, this isn't like new shit. And I do think that not as many people value their job at Prime as they used to. So it's almost like, well, if I get fired, I get fired. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So I do think there is a little bit of that right there. What do you think about the new reschedule of Fire? What do I think about the new reschedule of Fire? I don't know what that means. Saw a video on it, and it's not affecting truck drivers, but it can't be tested any longer. Man, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Go back and read your comment and make sure that you didn't have any things that you didn't type correctly in there. Richie Rich didn't say Prime drivers was stupid. I never said he did anything or said anything about Prime drivers being smart, stupid, indifferent, any of that kind of stuff.
And there's all the veggies. There's veggies too.
Hey, hey, Mason, could you go get Frankie's food that's in there in the room? Throw that out and see about getting her another fresh batch because she may not be eating that in there because it's old.
Actually, we should use the place that.
And just give her a little sliver. All right, so what do you think about the new reschedule? Man, you might have to type that old thing out again. I'm not sure where the weed is supposed to go in here. Saw a new video on it. It's not affecting truck drivers, but it can't be tested. What do you think about the new? Man, I don't know. Okay, fire is weed. What do I think about the new reschedule of weed? Oh, okay. Saw a video on it and it's not affecting truck drivers. Yeah, I wouldn't assume that even if it went federal, the truck drivers would all of a sudden be able to do that. I personally can't. I smoked weed one time, like in 2005, and that just was not my thing right there. I did it once, and that was it. So I don't know.
You tell mommy you.
All right, Roderick Wilson, not at all. He's a man of integrity and always speaking positivity. Who is a man of positivity or integrity and always speaking positively?
Cooperations and everything. He listened. He pushed the button. Yes, Robert busy. Yeah, because it's not bad. It's not that it's not.
Yeah, Roderick, I don't know who you're talking about that's a man of integrity and always speaking positively.
Well, one of them, I put some acorn squash because they said that's good for their tummy, like pumpkin.
He's eating smooth.
Why don't you set it?
I don't know.
Just set it down over there.
I figured it was
Mush it. Hey, what is that? What is that you have on the plate?
dog food and acorn
Okay.
squash. I read that it is good for the belly. just
Okay,
like
shut the fuck up for a second. Just mash the food down a little bit instead of cutting it down in them little squares. She's eating some of it. My dog's getting a little finicky today.
She's eating some of it, which is why we don't need to mash it down right here. But if you want to do
There you go. Because Lyle's always right.
I don't know about that. I still remember that one chip challenge video you did.
oh yes, me too.
And you saw me do it, right?
Yes.
Okay, then. Shut
Were
up.
you right to do it?
All right, he's talking about Richie Rich. So if you're saying a man of integrity and always speaking positivity, well, that's like me. Listen, you can be a man of integrity, but not necessarily speaking positivity. He's speaking positivity about where he's working at. But when you're out here,
Oh, that's the other thing. Do you want this
listen,
black olives for this?
I'm not saying I'm the best person. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, I may not be a role model because I get a little petty sometimes. But one thing, like, has anybody ever heard me talking down about a company I work for, another company, anything like that? You know what I'm saying? I've always put the blame on myself. I've never blamed politics, who's president, like what happened. If I failed at anything, it's all on me. 100%. I'm not gonna leave some company and act like I failed because of their lease program or their practices or whatever it is. In the end, it comes down to me. I can't go home to my wife and be like, you know what, I'm failing. I have to quit because of some shit some other motherfucker did. No, I can't do that. And maybe that's, you know what, maybe it's because how I grew up and the way my father was, but that just, or the businesses I came out of. You could not have you could not have an excuse good enough for failing in the businesses I came out of. So, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily positivity when you're talking about well, the guy earlier said he's making you guys sound like you're dumb and all that kind of stuff. But listen, somebody sent me this video earlier, so I watched it. And it was just like, it almost came off like I'm a hoe and he's trying to rescue me from a fucking pimp or something. I don't get it. And like I said, I ain't out here showing no paycheck stubs. I did it a little while, when I was training because people were asking, can you make money training and all this kind of stuff. So I put those out. But let me just put it this way. There is nobody at Tyson, nobody at Walmart. There's nobody, no company drivers right now that are going to be up there in that pay bracket that I'm making when I'm out there. But I'm not out here saying everybody's wrong for doing this and doing that or whatever it is. Everybody has their own path. There's a million different ways to cut this pie up. So, and it's not always about the money. That's what I don't get with some of these, with some of these, with some of these people. And I'm not talking about the people that are talking bad about Prime. I'm just saying whether it's people saying they're company drivers or owner operators or whatever it is, their way is the only way and all that kind of stuff. I'm saying, no, it's not. Money's not the only thing. There's a ton of different reasons why somebody would choose one company over another, and money may not be. As a matter of fact, if I was choosing a company, money would not even be in the top 2 of where I would go somewhere. To me, that shows if money is your biggest focus and that's what you're basing where you go on, that is having very limited sensibility when it comes to a long-term view.
This is not a stressful thing. This is about us getting together and hanging out. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see what my man said. Did you see the comment from Mateo he made? Maybe he knows you're just joking. All right. Let me see. I'm not sure what we were talking about. Man, it's hard to go through these comments like that.
He's been rubbing his eyes. He would have me rocky him.
Also, in mindset, you seem really white. You know what? That right there. That you know what? I learned that mindset. You know, here I'm gonna tell. I will tell you something. I never really talked about this before, but one thing I've really tried to show my son, and what my stepfather and my father for, you know, when my stepfather who raised me had his business and he had like 4 or 5 stores and he had people working for him. You know, I would go to work and I would see all these people of all these different races and colors and all this stuff working for him. So I never came up like you see a lot of people that grew up in certain areas or different circumstances and they never had a role model. There was like a black dude that was like owning shit and like the buck stopped at him. I had that. You know what I'm saying? So I was never intimidated by, you know what? I was just never intimidated by that. And then likewise, my son's coming up. When it's time for me to go pick up the rent or somebody's coming over to pick up the rent, you know, as a matter of fact, all but one of the people that rented from me was a white person. So my son never felt like, you know what, maybe I got to feel like I'm inferior or this or that. Why? Because people that were coming and paying the rent to me were older, you know, particularly white or, you know, whatever it is. So they never felt like that. So I don't know if that.
Or if you plan on not, it's not going to be around long enough to warm up as well.
And whether it was white, black, and different, when the businesses I came out of, you had to put in that work. Like it wasn't like the trucking industry where you know, in the trucking industry, you have the luxury of bitching about some shit some other motherfuckers doing. Oh, my dispatcher is not giving me this. I'm getting bad loads or they're not, you know, whatever. No, I came out of businesses where literally you ate what you killed. So
We're gathering our snacks together because the little man's tired. And so
you need to
we
wake that
open
little
his
terrorist
presents.
up.
Open his presents.
What about it?
So you need to.
I can sit here and watch him open it. Anyway, I'll be over there as soon as you guys are ready.
Well, we're getting there.
Okay. And you guys could wait around if it takes me a little while. So anyway, I think that has more. It's not I wouldn't say it's a white mindset. It's the mindset of the industry I came out of. And this is one thing that I know is soft about the trucking industry because trucking industry, they will blame anything on anybody. Oh my God. I don't care what anybody says. I'm good with Prime and what I make weekly. That's what I'm talking about. And there's, like I said, there's going to be people that are going to fail. Prime does have a good lease purchase program, but I was told $14K down and still have a weekly payment versus Lone Mountain. Listen, Lone Mountain, you could put any truck you have at Lone Mountain up against the truck at Prime. You will pay that truck off. It's going to be cheaper to pay it off. Now, sure, you can only pay, you know, you're going to put down less monthly and have a lower payment, but you're paying that shit off. Like, I'd still be making the payment on my trucks if I went through Lone Mountain. What's the advantage to doing it Prime? Boom, paid off in 36 months. So, and the price is less. You can look at the video Roadrunner Naya did. She got a truck with less shit, and the payment was, I think the payment was less, but the actual price was higher. So,
okay, ready?
Okay, here we go. I can't wait to jump on this. I didn't even see the whole comment already. Trucker Trash Tammy, what's going on? Hippie, you're not being honest. If Prime wasn't paying you right and you was getting paid half of what you're making now, I'm sure that would be an issue. You're not there for the annual picnic. Absolutely. But I'm saying I've never had that problem. So when I hear people say they're not making money in Prime, all I do is think about what are things that some drivers do to keep them from making money. And trust me, I can name off a few things right now that I've seen personally. But in 7 years, I've never complained about the money. So when I'm saying that I would quit if I wasn't making any money, it would have to be less than what, like, put it this way.
People still take some. I feel like people.
I don't even, I'm making, I can't see me ever making what some of these people are complaining about. But I think there's a lot of people at Prime that think they're like, everybody's a runner until it's time to start running. I do know that. And I think a lot of people don't realize how little things affect the bottom line more than they think it does. So anyway, I'm about to get off here. These guys are about to start opening up some presents and all this goofiness right here. So anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Truck and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe. I'm out.